a young woman steals $40,000 from a rich idiot who hands it to her, assuming that she won't steal it. She takes this money and hits the road. For two reasons. The first, to escape a life of drudgery in our capitalist system, and the second, to get her boyfriend to define the relationship. This young lady's path is unfortunately cut short by the one thing that all young women fear most: a man with mommy issues. I am, of course, referring to Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 horror masterpiece, Psycho. How's it going, guys? My name's Shane. Welcome back to the Horror Basement. And I just remembered that the green screen will not work if I film the video in black and white. So, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is a movie that I feel like I had seen, but I never have. And I feel that's a very relatable idea for people that have grown up in America and like Western culture at large. Because the amount that this movie has been sequelized, readapted, redone, referenced to in other popular media really speaks to just how prolific this movie was when it was first released 61 years ago, back in 1960. So I feel like if you are even tangentially interested in horror, you know the basic beats of the Psycho story. Marion Crane, the young lady from our opening salvo, is on the run. She has this money, and she ends up at the Bates Motel, which is run by a awkward young man by the name of Norman Bates, and allegedly his elderly mother, who is not seen until the very end of the movie, when, spoilers for Psycho incoming, go watch it if you haven't already. It turns out that Norman's mom has been dead for years, and he is suffering from some kind of like split or multiple personality disorder, where anytime he sees a pretty lady that gets him too excited, his mother takes over his body, well, the side of his personality that he identifies with his mother to, takes over his body, and he has to throw on a dress and a shitty gray wig and kill him. Which is what happens to Marion Crane, played by famous actress Janet Leigh. And of course, her, the boyfriend from our opening salvo, Sam, as well as Marion's sister, and a private detective, all, slowly make their way to the Bates Motel and into our thrilling climax. That's the basic plot points of Psycho. But one thing I was really impressed with going into it, having not seen it, but having, understanding the twist, knowing the plot, was just how effective Alfred Hitchcock really is at making scenes feel tense. Like, there were a couple scenes, like, before Marion even makes it to the hotel, like the scenes with the cop and at the car dealership, where everything is shot so perfectly, and the edits and the music are all, like, timed so well to the actions, the character they're taking on the screen, that it's a very immersive and effective style, which Hitchcock carries throughout the entire movie. Like, there are, shots and sequences in Psycho that look better than shit that's coming out in modern movies, if you can just get over the fact that it's being filmed in black and white. The one criticism a lot of people in modern times have of this movie is that, so after everything's wrapped up, Sam, our hero, per se, tackles Norman before he can do any more damage, and everything is wrapped up very nicely. by a psychologist at the police station. The psychologist the psychologist explains everything about Norman's split personality disorder and states that Norman is not a normal quote unquote transvestite, but he is a person split into two halves, and the mother, or the mother side, is the dominant half, which is basically at this point completely taken over Norman's body. So a lot of people have stated that this is somewhat transphobic, depicting like a crazy dude that dresses up in a dress and murders women. I feel like the people that made Psycho can't really be blamed for this, in the same way that they put it down to multiple personality disorder, which, by the way, it's not a real thing either. Like, MPD has basically been discredited by any, worthwhile psychological agent, institution. So they were going on the flawed psychological understanding and research of the time to kind of figure out an ending for this. So I don't hold it against the film, but I mean, honestly, having the doctor character come in and do like a 10-minute monologue explaining the ending to the audience is kind of lazy. But you have to understand that Hitchcock has kept everyone on edge for 90 minutes, and finally they're showed a rotting old woman's corpse and a guy in a dress wielding a knife. So audiences back in 1960 were probably very confused and upset, and I'm sure they appreciate Mr. Hitchcock sending in that psychologist to explain the last half of the movie to them. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I want to get into more more of Hitchcock stuff moving forward. The movie's shot beautifully. Everyone in it is excellent. Anthony Perkins, who plays Norman Bates, he steals the show completely every scene that he's in. Obviously, it's great. It's still famous to this day. So if you haven't seen Psycho, find a copy and give it a watch. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have one more video planned before the end of October. I'm going to try and squeeze that in probably the day before or on Halloween. So hit subscribe if you want to see that. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.